one.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now to start off with, I apologise it's been so long to get this video out. This launch pad has been incredibly complicated and there's been a lot of big problems on the way that have delayed it by months and months and months. I think I'll start this video off with giving you a tour of just what the launch pad includes. So I'll start off with the structure. Underneath here there's a steel frame. Now the steel frame is all cut on 45-degree angles and welded together to make it nice and strong. Around that we obviously have aluminium checker plate and brushed aluminium sides with aluminium edging all around the top. That gives it quite a nice finish and secures everything inside from what's happening outside. In terms of features, to start off with, we have a flame trench just here. So all the hot exhaust gas goes into a hole just here, underneath the pad and out either side through this pipe. Here we have base clamps which hold the rocket onto the launch pad so it can't fall over up until when the motor ignites. Up here we have arms that hold the top of the rocket so it's really nice and secure like a real launch pad. Down here we have LEDs, and up here the whole thing's covered in LEDs. These are RGB LEDs, so they all change colours. If we take a look at the back of the launch pad, we can see a pneumatic piston just here. So this is what retracts the entire strung back. It's all controlled by a pneumatic piston. So inside of here there's an air tank, there's an air compressor, there's valves, there's fittings, there's meters of pneumatic hose all inside of this. Here we have a relief valve for that system. Over here we have an air compressor so we can pump up the air and then we can release it with this. We have all the switches to control everything and arm everything. We have the reset button to reset the whole system. Just here we have a very important piece which acts as a support structure. As you can imagine, when there's air pushing this piston down and pulling this whole thing back, there's quite a lot of momentum that this heavy strong back builds up. So it's important that I have this here so the pad doesn't tilt, because otherwise the rocket could fall over. Then when the motor ignites, there's a chance that the rocket will go straight across the ground, and that's a very bad hazard. Now, some smaller things that you might not have noticed. Just here we have a bubble level, and all these feet are screw feet, so I can adjust both the height of it and make sure that it's level. Obviously there is alligator clips in here to ignite the rocket, which is all connected back to the main computer just here, the Thrust V2 launchpad computer. Now the most important thing in my opinion is that it's wireless. So up here we have a wireless antenna and we have all the cables for this running through here, and all the wireless system is in here, and then that wirelessly communicates with the controller. So if I turn the controller on, you'll see this blinks blue. So that's signaling that they have a secure connection. Now, if I type in security code to get into the controller, then we can start doing things like checking the signal for starters, and then we can play with the arms. So I can take the arms on and off, which allows me to set it up very easily. I can control the base clamps, and I can control the strung back, which there's not currently air in. But if I was to want to control the strung back, I could simply release the arms, get some air pressure. So I've got the button just here and the pressure gauge just here. There we go. So now we have air pressure in there, and if I go over here, I can press the strong back button and this will fall back nicely. Just like that. So you'll see the rocket still shakes a bit and stuff, but because of this support structure, there's no way the rocket's going to fall over or the launch pad's going to bounce. So it's a much nicer way of doing it. This was the latest thing I've added, and I'm very glad that I did add it. Now I'm going to give you a demo of the whole system working. So if I turn on the launch pad and I wait for it to boot up, the base clamp to go up, this will connect and everything will be ready to go. So then from here, to do an entire countdown, turn on the controller, type in the security codes, and that takes you to here. Now I'll pump up the pneumatic system, and I'll check the valve. There we go, pneumatic system's pressurized. So now I can use my controller just here to start a sequence. So I can confirm the launch by typing the security code, and then I can hold the signal button down sorry, the arm button of course, and press launch. And you see this is going to start blinking, so it's a 15-second countdown sequence. Right now the flashing light's not plugged in, but normally there's a 12-volt light that's flashing. When this gets to the end of the sequence, now you can see it's red, and then everything's going to release. Now, there is one minor problem. You might have noticed just then that everything released, the rocket would have ignited if there was an engine in it, except everything turned off. So basically the problem that I'm having is that when everything's releasing and it's launching, it's pulling way too much power, and it's actually not giving the Arduino enough power, and it's resetting the entire system. So that's one thing that I'm going to try to figure out in the next 2 weeks before the first launch. That's right, just 2 weeks until I'll be launching. Now I do have a rather long instructables post on this. Much like with the controller, I spent a few hours typing up a big article about what I did, what the process was like, what I considered, and what was involved with it. So if you want to know more about this, more about what it does and how I did it, then go over to that instructables post. I'll put a link down in the description. So that's all I have for you today. Just a quick overview of what the Launchpad does and what it includes. Thanks heaps for watching this video. If you've got any questions, comment them below and I'll try to answer them all. But anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you next time.